Welcome back to our brass training videos, and by now we're trying to learn how to read music. So this is very important to your development as a musician. Your teacher will probably sing a lot at first and demonstrate, but we want you to learn this new language of music so that you can be independent with your music making as you learn at your own pace and start to play more difficult music. Music notation tells us two basic things: pitch, the highness or lowness of sound, and then length, how long the pitch is, or for rest, how long the silence lasts. Let's start with pitch. All music is contained on a staff, which is 5 horizontal lines. Each one of these lines represents a pitch, which we give a letter from the alphabet using A through G. For Salvation Army bands, we mostly use treble clef. So these lines are from the bottom, E, G, B, D, and F. And a lot of people use various ways of remembering these lines. My favorite is every good burger deserves fries. And so again, that would be E, G, B, D, and F. The spaces are a bit easier to remember because they spell face. So from the bottom space, F, A, C, E. Now realistically, as we get started with our brass playing, you're going to play lower notes on the staff while you develop your range. So it's most important just to remember that that bottom line on the staff is E. So we have E at the bottom of the staff, that bottom line, and then next is F, if you remember face, F-A-C-E. After F is G as we go through the alphabet, but that's as far as we go. We have to circle back to A, B, C as we continue line space, up the staff, getting higher and higher. Now our instruments are capable of playing more than 9 notes, so sometimes we have to extend the staff. So for example, E is that bottom line. Just below E, we would have D, which is that space right below the staff. And then if we want to go from D down to C, we have to add a ledger line. So it's just a small line through the note that extends the staff. So that's as far as we need to go for this lesson for pitch. We have our first 5 notes, which would be C, D, E, F, and G. And so E, again, is right there in the middle. It's the bottom line of the staff. That's kind of our home base. You have D and C right below E, and then above E is F and G. So let's have a quick quiz. So your leader can call on the quietest student with their hand up, or maybe just the fastest person to shout it out, but listen to your leader for their directions. So here we go. On the screen you'll see notes on certain lines or spaces, and you'll call out the right pitch with E, G, or whatever pitch is shown, and then we'll see how you do. So here comes our first one. Well, I hope you did well on the quiz. You can keep going back to your books and material to review as you commit this to memory. After you're familiar with pitch, or the highness and lowness of sound, we need to understand note length. We talked about the staff being 5 horizontal lines that determine pitch. When we get into note values that determine rhythm, vertical lines called bar lines are used to separate the music into measures. For now, you will just see a 4/4 time signature at the start of most of your music, and this means that each measure gets 4 beats. So as we learn about note values and rhythm, let's start by tapping our feet. And you're just going to tap your toes, not your heels, so we don't make a lot of noise. We're going to tap our toes and count to 4 over and over again. So let's try that. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Make sure you're tapping your toes. 4. 1, 2, 3. Now let's clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, you were clapping on every beat, so you were clapping a quarter note. A quarter note gets 1 beat of sound, and you were clapping 4 quarter notes in each measure, just like there are 4 quarters in each dollar. Now, a quarter note is a colored-in circle with a stem. So let's clap 8 quarter notes in a row, or 2 measures worth of quarter notes. Let's clap together, okay? 2 measures of quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's important that we cut off together and we follow the music just like it says. So that was 2 measures worth of quarter notes. There are also notes that last longer than 1 beat, like a half note. A half note gets 2 beats of sound, and it looks just like a quarter note, except the circle is not filled in. If I were to sing a half note, it would sound like this. La, 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 la. So I start the note, and 2 beats go by, and then I start another note. Let's try that together, singing 4 half notes in a row. So 2 measures worth of half notes. Let's sing together. 1, 2, ready, sing. La, 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 la. Now, if I'm to clap this, it has to be a little bit different than quarter notes because we need a way of displaying that the note continues for 2 beats. So we're going to clap on beat 1, pulse with our hands together on beat 2, clap on beat 3, and again pulse on beat 4 to show that these half notes are getting 2 beats of sound. So let's try that together. We're going to clap 2 measures worth of half notes. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's do it one more time to make sure that there weren't any soloists, no one clapping where they're not supposed to, and that we all cut off together. One more time. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Now, finally, we have a note that takes up a whole measure, or gets 4 beats of sound. And it's called a whole note, which makes sense. It's a circle without a stem. And it would sound like this. La, la. So I'm singing across all 4 beats. Let's try that together. Let's sing 2 measures of whole notes. 1, 2, ready, sing. La, la. To clap a whole note, just like half notes, we have to pulse through part of it so that we last the whole measure. So we're going to clap on beat 1, pulse on beats 2, 3, and 4. Let's try that together. 2 measures of whole notes. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's it. So we've learned quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes, the main values that we need at this point. But we also have to learn about rests that tell us the length of silence. And in music, silence is very important because it draws our attention to something new and really makes us listen closely. So just like there's a quarter, half, and whole note, we have the same values for rests. So we have a quarter rest that gets 1 beat of silence, a half rest that gets 2 beats of silence, and a whole rest that gets 4 beats of silence. So when we clap, we have to signify the rest as well. So I'm clapping the notes, and then when we rest, I'm going to kick my hands out to the side to signify that silence. So for this example, we have quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest. I'm going to clap it like this. 1, rest, 3, rest. 1, rest, 3, rest. Try that with me. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, rest, 3, rest. 1, rest, 3, rest. So let's try to quickly put all of this together with an example that has both notes and rests. So I like to always start with rhythm. And so look through this example and think about how you would clap it. So let's focus on the first 2 measures. We have a quarter note, a quarter rest, a quarter note, a quarter rest, just like we just clapped. And then the second measure has 4 quarter notes in a row. So think how you would clap that. And let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, rest, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, did we have any soloists, any hiccups there? Let's try it one more time. I don't want to hear anyone clapping during those rests on beat 2 and 4. Let's try it one more time together. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, rest, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the third and fourth measures have some different note values. We already learned these earlier. We have 2 half notes, the circle with the stem, and then we have in the final measure a whole note. It takes up the whole measure. It's just that circle, and you'll see the ledger line through it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So we have 2 half notes that get 2 beats of sound each, and then a whole note, 4 beats of sound. Let's try to clap that. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget about pulsing through those longer notes. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lastly, we're going to put that all together. So all four measures back to back. So think about how they're different. Quarter notes, quicker beats in the beginning, half notes, whole notes at the end. Let's try it together, all four bars. 1, 2, ready, clap. 1, rest, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I hope you didn't get tripped up there. If your teacher needs to pause at this moment and you need to go back and review that, feel free to do so. But otherwise, we're going to move on to the notes. So we only have two notes in this whole piece. In the second measure, you'll see D, and we know that because it's right below the bottom line E. E is our home base, so D is right below that. And then in the first measure, you'll see the ledger line through the C, right? We have to extend the staff with that little line through the notes. So we have C and D, the whole piece, going back and forth between those notes. So C and D are our only pitches throughout this whole exercise. So now we want to try to sing those rhythms that we already know, but using the letter names and the pitches associated with them. So that first measure, here's our pitch. This is a C. That's for low brass, and then cornets. So keep that pitch in mind, and it will sound like this. C, rest, C, rest, D, 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 D. So we're going up a whole step and trying to match that pitch. Try that with me. Let's say the letter names and match the pitch together. Some of you may need to sing a little bit higher up the octave, so feel free to do that, but try to match a pitch across the group. Let's try it together. First two bars. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest, C, rest, D, 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 D. One more time. Let's make sure we're not having anyone singing those rests. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest, C, rest, D, 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 D. And let's go to those last two bars. So we know our notes are just C and D, but now we have different rhythm. Half note, whole note. So try that with me. 2 beats on the C, 2 beats on the D, and then 4 beats on a long C in that final measure. Let's sing it together. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, D, C. One more time. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, D, C. So you can feel free to stop at any point. You need a little extra review. Press pause, and then you can continue when you're ready to catch up. But now we're going to continue and sing the whole 4 bars. So here's your reference pitch again. This is your C. Whichever octave you're more comfortable singing. But let's sing all 4 bars together. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest, C, rest, D, 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 C, D, C. Alright, again, feel free to stop it if you need to, but let's try it one more time and then we'll move on. Here it is. Let's sing together. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest, C, rest, D, 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 C, D, C. That's a long one there at the end. So our final step as we learn these exercises is to figure out what valves to push down or where to slide along on our trombone. And so every single note has a particular set of valves associated with it. So you know that C is open, as I've been demonstrating with our reference pitch. D, we push down valves 1 and 3. Okay, so the first and the third valve at the same time, all the way to the valve casing. Trombones, that's going to be 6th position. So all the way out, just about as far as it'll go, and that'll be your D for trombone. Okay, so we're going to just try, we're not going to play right now, but this step, we pull the horn up to our faces like we're about to play. Just put the mouthpiece on our chin so we can still sing as we push the valves down or slide along on trombone. So the first bar will be C, rest, C, and then we push down 1 and 3, D, 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 D. Okay, that's our first 2 bars. Let's sing that together while we push the valves or move our slide. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest. C, and then D, 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 D. So make sure you're pushing down your valves. We find that some of the students don't always follow that step. This is important. And don't just look at your neighbor, but try to learn how to read this music that's on the screen, okay? So once again, C, C, D, 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 D. Keep 1 and 3 down, the whole measure. Let's try it together. Mouthpiece on your chin, and sing while you push the buttons. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest. C, rest. D, 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 D. All right, that's closer. Now let's keep going to measures 3 and 4. Again, C, D, C. So long notes with the half notes and the whole notes, but still using the same buttons. C, the note with the ledger line through it, and then D right below the staff. Let's try bars, measures 3 and 4, okay? 1, 2, ready, sing. C, D, C. Make sure we're getting down 1 and 3 for D, and when we get to C, if you're pushing down any of the buttons, you're wrong. So try to keep it open just like we've been talking about. Let's try the whole thing together. Again, if you need to slow it down, feel free to press pause, but here is the exercise together. Mouthpiece on your chin, pushing down the valves while we sing. 1, 2, from the beginning, and C, rest. C, rest. D, D, push those valves down. D, C, D, C. And then we release. Let's try that one more time. Make sure we're all on the same page. The biggest part of this is pushing down those valves right away in tempo. All right, let's try it together one more time. 1, 2, ready, sing. C, rest. C, rest. D, 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 C, D, C. Feel free to pause and go back if you need to for some of these exercises, but that is the basics of music reading. I know it's a lot to take in, but stick with it, have a focus, and try to think for yourself as you gradually memorize this new language. It's one of the key building blocks as you develop as a musician. So stick with it, keep practicing, and I know that you'll get it.